Hey, soul survivors. So, we're going to talk about the masculine and feminine energy. So, there was a video that I just watched, and it said that down low, men love desperate women, and they will either pick a masculine woman or turn her into that. So, let's talk about narcissism and the different masculine feminine energies. Also, if you have a female, is she going to turn into a man into more of a feminine energy? So I know with all this gender stuff going on, but in the traditional sense, a man and a woman, there's certain energies, certain ways that were created, the protector, the provider, the nurturer, on and on, that we have certain unspoken tasks, I guess, which kind of keep us fulfilled and keep us acting in, the way our hormones are, the way that we were raised, and on and on. But so a narcissist, they're in that infantile state. So I'm going to talk from the masculine to the feminine, a man to a woman. So if you think about a man, where he's in that infantile stage or stuck in like high school mentality, that if they are a narcissist, and I'll address women in a second, but if they're a narcissist, they kind of turn you into their mother over time, where you're like, don't do that. That's not how you treat people, and on, because I haven't finished that state of growth, and there's damage in their brain, so they don't process it. It's also uncomfortable, it's foreign to them, they don't understand, they see things differently because they're stuck in that mentality. And so they can present as a masculine person wanting to be the provider or treat you like a lady and on, but over time they start showing that they have immaturities about them, they have impulsivities, they have you think about a teenager, how many times do they want to do their own thing, or they'll throw a fit because you told them no, or they might run away, or flip you off, on and on, where it can be quite challenging with a teenager. But there's also that mind frame where it's like, okay, this is a couple years, we're working through it, they're going to grow, and then turn into easier people to be around. Their hormones, all that stuff will work out. But when you're dealing with a grown person and they're treating you like that, where it's all about them and the entitlement and the perception and the cut downs and just their way of life, that they're gonna a lot of times quit their job just because somebody pissed them off, and that affects the finances. So even if you're paying your part, now the brunt of it falls on you. Or if they agreed that you could stay home, now you got to go out and get a job, because maybe they'll poor pity victim, me, to where nobody understands and they can't apply to get a job. So they'll just kind of rely on you. And are they going to pick up their portion of the relationship? And if it's the other way around, where the man is with a narcissistic woman, she's gonna be a control freak, to where or manipulating in such a way to where the man is now going to be like cowering and emotional, and trying to please her and make everything right and pamper her, to where it's not going to be where he's the strong one. And so then that's going to cause like a lack of respect, and then she's going to walk all over him. So I just found it really interesting that the more desperate we are, let's just be real, the more desperate that we are, the more people pleasing we're going to do, the more that we will accept the abuse that goes on. When we really want something, sometimes we don't stand up because of fear of losing this person. But in the cycle, it changes who you are. So if you're a female, you're going to start to be more masculine. Maybe you're going to start to stand up for yourself, say, I don't tolerate this, as opposed to yes, sir. Not that you have to bow down like that, but to where it's not like, okay, I trust you. it's going to be like, I don't trust you. And it's important not to get to the point, whether you're a man or female, whatever relationship you have, that you know what your comfort is as far as masculine, feminine, what you want for your relationship. Because I think that over time, the role is shifting and it starts to become uncomfortable because you are living out a life that is not conducive to um, your makeup. Um, so the more desperate you are, the more somebody can change you, the more somebody can manipulate you. And that's why narcissists are attracted to people who are over empathetic, and over time it will start to destroy you. It will like shapeshift you. And like in the beginning, if you're a female and you want to respect your man and this and that, but when you start not feeling respected, you're going to stand up for yourself, and eventually you're not going to respect them. So it's a cycle that continues, and it will change you. So don't stay in these relationships too long. If the person isn't willing to listen to your boundaries, if the person is not a narcissist, if you communicate the right way. One thing I learned, kind of like in retrospect, I was talking with a friend of mine, and bird's eye view is always a little bit easier, but she's like, well, he said this and then I said this, and on and on and on. She's telling me their story, and I said, I get it, like, you're in the right, but you keep trying to defend yourself instead of just knowing I am in the right. How are we going to work on this? Because pick your battles. Do we have to fight about who's right, who's wrong, why you did this, or how are we going to handle this? So there was a solution to her situation, but once people start getting hurt or low self-esteem or not being able to stand up for themselves or communicate the right way, that it starts getting into these cycles of just arguments that go round and round. And if you're with a narcissist, they like the word salad. Also, the dismissive avoidant or a narcissist likes to dismiss that you're not feeling heard. And there's differences too between men and women. Women are more emotional usually. And men are more logical thinkers. So women communicate with more emotions, and that can be overwhelming to a man. And then you add on narcissism on top of that. Also vice versa. That if a female or feminine could communicate not as emotional, more succinct, precise, and that the men or masculine would have a little bit more of a tender side, that could help. But the narcissist without empathy, they don't have the empathy to understand the other person. And there's times that we might not understand what somebody is going through, but by them explaining, it usually enlightens us. But the narcissist will deflect. They will turn it around on you. So now you're defending yourself, and it's just like defend, argue. And you're like, it's so easy. Just it's so easy. But with them, it's not. And you think about the heightened state of like arousal when you're talking with a kid, a teenager, or a kid wants a new Barbie doll, they're throwing a fit, you're not gonna get through to them. Sometimes we do have to give people space, but don't be the desperate person who gives up on themselves, changes themselves. Stand true to yourself and realize your worth. Also, I want to do a video on being someone's option, and we're more than that. We deserve somebody who will be there for us and who desires us, to where we don't have to keep asking, will you respect me? Will you do this? Will you do that? Maybe they're not our person. And a narcissist will take advantage, and it's almost inevitable. They'll either destroy the relationship and physically still be in the same house with you, or they're going to discard. And a lot of times they will go on to a new supply or cheat. It just depends on what's available to them or how they feel they'll be seen by others, because image is a big thing for them. And you don't want somebody staying with you just for image or just for finances. That I found it really interesting. It's really true. Don't be in the desperate state. And it goes the same for men too. Women will take advantage of it, and then they will put you into a feminine energy, and it's going to start to feel uncomfortable, and you're going to start fighting to get back to who you are. So be true to yourself and really take the time to watch out for those red flags. Now that you've been through a narcissistic relationship, you can see through some of them. Don't kick yourself for what happened, because, even on some of these like criminals, psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, that even trained professionals have a hard time seeing things. Sometimes hindsight is 2020. Even body language, you can analyze it. It's real hard to do in real time. So give yourself some grace and protect yourself. I'm here if you want to do a one-on-one. Topic requests are always welcome. You're not somebody's option. You're the prize.